The tax apocalypse cometh. This is just a quick note on why your financial records need to be tighter than ever. Look, I'm not trying to be the bearer of financial doom here, but we do need to have a come to Jesus moment about what's happening with tax enforcement in this brave new hellscape we're living in. The political pendulum isn't just swinging, it's being ripped off its hinge and used as a battering ram against everything we took for granted. Now, let's get super real for a second. The Supreme Court has gone full Hunger Games on us, unwinding protections faster than I unravel after 3 consecutive all-nighters during tax season. What we're witnessing is unprecedented judicial activism that's creating a tax environment where benefit of the doubt is becoming extinct. Okay, so let's talk about the AI boogeyman and how now it's actually real this time. Remember when we used to joke about robots taking our jobs? Well, the IRS is embracing AI like it's the second coming of Christ, except this Messiah exists solely to find your financial sins. They're deploying algorithms that can spot patterns and inconsistencies human agents would miss, and they're doing it at a scale that should terrify anyone with even minor gray areas in their returns. The computer doesn't give a damn if your missing receipt was because your basement flooded or your dog ate it. The algorithm just flags the anomaly, and suddenly you're explaining to an agent why your home office deduction looks statistically improbable compared to others in your income bracket. The penalties. Let's talk about how the penalties are on steroids. What used to be a slap on the wrist could now financially cripple you. What we're seeing are penalties that make loan sharks look like charitable organizations. The 20% accuracy related penalty, that cute little deterrent might balloon when enforcement priorities shift. And let's not forget the failure to file penalties that compound like my anxiety when I check my bank account. Okay, it's real. Why? Because extracting maximum revenue isn't just a goal anymore. It's becoming the absolute mission statement. And when governments like this need cash and political wins favor cracking down, guess who becomes the piggy bank they're eager to smash open? That's right, small businesses, freelancers, and anyone without an army of tax attorneys. The vulnerable are screwed as usual, and this is one thing that definitely keeps me up at night. The elderly couple living on a fixed income who made an honest mistake on their R&D calculation, or the disabled entrepreneur who can't afford QuickBooks and uses spreadsheets instead, or the immigrant business owner who is still learning English tax terminology, right? These are people who are walking targets in a system like this. Whatever shreds of compassion it once pretended to have, that's what's going on when enforcement tightens. There is no nuance. It's never going to be the ultra wealthy who suffer because they have those tax attorney armies, right? It's going to be the everyday people who basically get financially executed, or what's the new word? Disappeared. So getting your records together is no longer optional. What's the battle plan in this financial war zone? Well, first things first, documentation is your armor. Every receipt, every invoice, every mile driven needs to be recorded with paranoia level precision of someone who thinks the government is watching, because guess what? They literally are. Definitely segregate personal and business expenses like their toxic exes. One bank account for business, one for personal, no exceptions. No matter how convenient, Mixing them up might have seemed before when you're exhausted. Question every deduction. That gray area that your buddy or brother or cousin swears that everyone takes, that's the tripwire that'll have you explaining yourself to someone who's heard every excuse in the handbook and doesn't give a solitary hoot about your justification. Quarterly reviews are your new religion. If you're self-employed, for sure. Waiting until year end to sort out your financial situation is like waiting until your house is fully engulfed in flames before checking if the smoke detector works. One more. Get professional help before you need it. Prevention costs pennies compared to what's going to be the dollars of cure or comeback after all this actually engulfs you and engulfs your finances. This type of situation needs prevention so that you can have some peace of mind. Now, I know this whole little message might sound a little bit alarmist. I am coming fresh out of the tax season craziness right now, telling you this off of fumes. But the old rules of engagement, folks, where honest mistakes were treated as such, are evaporating like morning dew in the desert. We can't control what we would even like to control anymore in Washington or the courts, but we can control how prepared we are when the inevitable scrutiny comes our way. Because it's not a question of if anymore, it's when. So let's make sure that we're getting our houses in order before someone decides to check. Your financial future might depend on it.